one weird thing that I've noticed about people is that they love being stuck. And what I mean by that is people would do the same things over and over. They'll complain about the same things that's going on in their life. And you can sit there and you can even point it out to them, let them know what's going on, and they still will do it. You could give them sound advice, and they still would do it. Even it's weird because you could tell somebody um, or have a conversation with somebody about their problems, like that they're having from like it'll be like 6 months ago, and they'll still be talking about the same thing. They'll still be going over the same thing over and over again. And I've seen this with a lot of people. And I think what it is just like these people, they have blinders on almost. Like they really can't see what the real problem is. Even when you tell them, it's like they almost got to be ready to hear your information or ready to receive your information because it could come into their awareness and everything. And I know once things come into my awareness, I try to change. I try to make a difference. But I mean, who knows? Even I may have some blinders on, and it's so weird because like these people, and people won't even see the problem. They won't even see it, but everybody around them can see the problem. Everybody around them can see what's going on, but it's like they're so stuck in what they've been doing that they don't want to change anything. Um, I think it's almost like admitting that somewhere you went wrong, somewhere you made a mistake, and people usually don't want to admit to their mistakes, but uh, that's really one of the things that really hold us back and keep us just in the same place going over and over. And like I've heard before, the definition of doing something over and over again is the definition of insanity, because you'll wonder why the same problems occur, why everything happens over and over to you. It's like deja vu, but then when you don't change, um, then the same problems reoccur. And change is happening because the more you ignore the problem or the more you don't listen, the more that problem gets worse and worse and worse. And it's just like it's almost like water being stagnated. Stagnant water is always going to be less fresh and more putrid than like flowing water that's actually moving, water that's changing all the time. And that's kind of like what it is with our flow of consciousness. uh, if we just stay in our same form flow of consciousness over and over again, then it becomes stagnated. And we really need to. If I was, what I would think people would do, or what my advice would be, just take a bold stand every once in a while and try something new. Try to not stay in the same place over and over and over again. Even if something new, it just doesn't feel right. Of course, that's what change is. Change is not something not feeling right. It's not going to feel right when you do change because it's something that you've never done. So it feels awkward because uh, when you just stay in that same place, it's comfortable. But comfort is not always what we need. People love comfort, and I think comfort stops a lot of ideas from being able to be made in this life because you just get comfortable with that situation, and it's not what you really need at that point in life. And uh, sometimes we need to step out into the unknown and try to figure things out. But being stuck almost equals comfort, and it puts you like in an echo chamber of like anybody that you have around you. They might even tell you that you need to change, or you do this or can you do that, but it's like you don't even hear that. It's like you don't even hear that information. You it's That's why I say sometimes language is always not the best information. or that's the best way to convey a message. I mean, it's one of the best ways that we have, but um, I think just downloading information, if we were able to do that, just to download information. But I can tell you, like, something that's always amazing to me is when, I give information to somebody or I see somebody that hasn't changed in a while and I haven't seen them like in a couple of months, and then I come back and they finally had that epiphany. It finally came into their awareness of what they were doing wrong, and they are a changed person. Uh, it's hard for us to do that because we as adults have our cup so full, and we're so knowledgeable. We feel like we're so knowledgeable about everything in this world. Uh, I really feel that sometimes experience could really be a trap, and you might know more than the next person, but in actuality, you'll never know everything. It's impossible for us as humans to know everything. And so experience could be a trap when we think that, we know this or we know that, but it's like the difference between tactics and strategies. Experience give us tactics and things to move, but we overlook the overall strategy of it. And I really think one of the best things you could do is to say, I don't know. I do not know, because I mean, when you just say, oh yeah, I know that, oh yeah, I heard that, that you close yourself off to life. You close yourself off to learning. You close yourself off to listening to somebody. When someone else is talking or when someone else is saying something, it's like you are just waiting for them to stop talking so you could start talking. And instead of really just listening to that person and grabbing something from their experience, you're just leaning on your experience. I mean, even a 5-year-old child could give you some information that might change your life if you listen and not just to sit there and think that you know everything just because of your experience in life, and you know everything. Experience is good and is good for tactics, but experience could definitely be a trap and leave you in a place where you're stuck. And uh, change is really weird. Change is so interconnected with consciousness, and if yeah, I mean, you're going to definitely change because your consciousness is changing every day. Your cells in your body are changing every day. But how are you changing? What is the loop of consciousness that you are in, and how long have you been in that loop? And is that loop really still serving you? Is it really still helping you? And it could be leading you down a path of destruction. Something that was good for you in your 20s could be destructive for you in your 40s or 50s. And if you're still doing the same old thing over and over again, it really could hurt you. But because it's so comfortable, because you could defend that position, you could tell people, oh yeah, this is you could give people 500 points on why this is right, and while you do this thing, and no one really could break through your iron curtain, to get through to you. But the whole while that those 500 points are meaningless when what you're doing, whenever you're doing over and over again, is just leading you down a path of destruction and keeping you stuck. And uh, it's just so funny with that people will just stay in these stuck positions, and it's just hard to get them out of it. And you'll see it year after year after year after year, and it's just sad. And you can see how it's destroying their life or taking them down a path where they may not even want to go. But they may even be saying that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, but their actions and the things and their habits, the things that they're doing over and over again, and them having that cup full and not willing to empty their cup and listen and learn something new, uh, is what's destroying them. And uh, I think that's why I think that people who read books on a yearly basis, or you know keep learning in life, those are the ones that progress in life. Uh, it's it's almost like a zero sum game now. Either you're going forward or you're going backwards, and you can't. Everything has an ending and a beginning, just like the seasons, just like everything that we have in life. Everything has an ending and a beginning, and when we just keep on pushing, I mean, when we're dressed in the summertime with big winter coats on and things like that, then it's like we're out of place. But we're like, oh yeah, these coats kept me warm in the wintertime. You know what I'm saying? Kept me feeling good in the wintertime. But in the summertime, you're still wearing those coats. Now you're sweating. Now you your deodorant doesn't work because you got on this big coat. You look out of place. Everybody can see it. You even could feel it, but you keep on thinking, oh yeah, I have this big winter coat on. It helped me back in the day, and I know it's gonna help me again. And sure, you go through the whole summer, and then winter comes back around, and then all of a sudden, it gets cold again. You're like, oh yeah, see, I told y'all that this was gonna happen, but you have no, you're not able to adapt to different things because your experience is telling you that this helped me back then. And it's just once you do that, once you quit adapting, once you quit listening to what people have to tell you, then you become trapped in that. And it's crazy because the longer that you're in this trap, the harder that it gets, the harder that it becomes to get out of this trap. And also another thing, the more it damages you, the more trouble that you're gonna have. And it's this is like a reoccurring cycle over and over and over again. And what you really need to do is just sit down, ask yourself a few questions. Ask yourself, look at your life and see if it's headed in the direction that you want it to go. And look at the things that you're doing in your life and see if they serve you. See if these things are helping you. And it's not always easy to do that, especially if you've had success in life with certain things, and you like, if it worked then, it's going to work again, and sometimes it even works again, but on the other end of that stick is still to your detriment. Nothing Too much of anything, I don't think is good for us. We always have to be moving. We always have to be adapting. We always have to be trying to figure out something new in life. Because the second that we stand still and stand stagnant and say, "Oh, yeah, I made it to the end," then that's when the damage begins. It's always this life is built for growth and for always changing and always trying to find something new and always listening to what others have to say, and just learning from your experiences, and trying to just assess where you're at in life and assess what you're doing in life and to see if you could grow further and go further. But um, but the thing is, if once you get comfortable, once you start getting comfortable, then it gets to the point where it even angers you, or it makes you have an attitude toward life where you're like, forget everything. I'll just live like this, and you could have everything set up. You could have everything set up, but if you're not growing, then it's going to be a problem for you, and it's going to be very hard to progress in life. But uh, if nothing else matters, just know that you don't know everything. I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything, and it's always going to be room for growth. It's always going to be room for change, and no matter what, even if you say I don't want to change, guess what? You're still going to change because change is so engrossed with consciousness, and consciousness loves change. Yeah, a matter of fact, if life didn't change, then I don't think consciousness could even exist in this reality that we call life, because it's just everything is always changing. And even if you are closed off, there's in this environment, there's no closed off circuit. You're always going to be affected by something. So if you're closing yourself off to something, then you're just losing out. You're just falling behind, and One day you're gonna wake up and someone's gonna, you're gonna be so far behind that it's gonna be impossible almost to catch up. But if you hung with me this long, thanks, and I'll see you later.